Not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood. We are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First play from scrimmage, Watson going to throw it. And he's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. Finding space at the 40. He's at the 40, the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there. They'll start out here with the option left. Now Mayfield lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When he break a couple of tackles, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage. But you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Here's Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's first and goal. Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Working out of the gun. Mayfield throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And this one will be down by a member of the kicking team at about the 40-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Howard. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Browns have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. York now for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. At their own 19-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Mayfield. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he will have a Steelers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 2nd and inches, Mayfield. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 42. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing, Mayfield. Open man, that's Gesicki down the field. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers get a bit closer. Extra point put through by Boswell. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that. Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Watson now to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. They go up the middle with Chubb. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, we're 33.
Here's Mayfield. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to get this down near the 25. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Flush to his right. Right back to Njoku. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. Touchdown! Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this 1st half, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead in the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this 1st half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. and you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, 31! In the car! Alert! Hey, in the car!
To throw is Watson. Got a man here, it's Bryant. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
First down, Cleveland.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. This is caught. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Daxton Hill picks it off.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Looking for Ross again. He finds him again. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. Now Mayfield. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his fifth of the afternoon. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by York is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Taken down back at the 15-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles. At that time, a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Let me get a little nautical with you, partner, because to me, that looked like a feeding frenzy of sharks out there. As soon as that play imploded, they all smelled blood in the water. Everyone screaming downhill, trying to get in on the hit for a big loss.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Browns drive about to get started.
24! 31!
On 1st down, it's Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell.
And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception's really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Mayfield now. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And yet again, it's Howard with a catch. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Steelers are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, alert 33.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Mayfield. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 32 on the play.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They'll go option to the short side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He'll check this down to Hines. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Play fake. Mayfield. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Able to find his man. It's Pickens. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Here's Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on second down, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
The Steelers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a give left side for Chubb. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. And Chubb trying the middle here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 54 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
First down, Mayfield. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Their front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their head.